All right, everyone, how's it going? My name is Levi Thompson, and today I'm going to be covering AR and VR in Greece. So let's get started. What is AR and VR? AR stands for augmented reality. It's using technologies to superimpose information, stuff like sounds, images, and text, on the world that we can see, where it's not something that's being broadcasted upon a screen is something that's being brought to life. While VR is almost the opposite, being virtual reality, it means more computer generated environments. So stuff we would see in our world being able to be generated and created on computers for you to interact with, be immersed with. Um, they're both all in all very complicated procedures, so it's not really something that's hit globally yet with households and such. It's more reserved for high-end companies and people just aware of the curve and things like that. So who is using it? It could be used by, once again, like I said, very large companies and organizations who can create spaces with that technology that could be used for a multitude of reasons, stuff we'll cover a little bit later on. VR and AR both impose tasks that would be able to happen on the job, meaning you can be well prepared for potential hires, people you would need to train to start working. There are so many different variations of VR that it's just how much you want to put into it, really. You can have VR devices in your home, VR headsets, things like that, while many companies will do things like VR rooms, or the entire room has been set up to accommodate the technology. So they're both widely accessible, even with how complicated of a process it is. You can buy both to go into a home system, but you'll mostly find it in heavy jobs and markets that deal with technology. Profitable countries as well. This isn't something that's really hit global yet. A lot of low-end countries that are slower on the technological advancements will not have access to this kind of technology. So why use AR and VR? The company I chose to focus on again was Amazon, as they are the largest company in the world at the moment. So I feel like it could accentuate the four categories the best. The strengths for AR and VR, it can create scenarios that employees would actually have to go through on a day-to-day basis without putting that employee in the scenario on the spot. This training sort of provides something like no surprises. You go through the training program in VR to see and be able to move around the office and use your hands to do what you would do in real life, so it could properly prepare new hires. A big weakness could possibly be that, there's no real way to accommodate for everything. People who find themselves too reliant on the technology will always find that, it's not perfect yet. There are still a lot of problems to work out. The biggest opportunities, it would be a great incentive for preparing workers, ensuring top tier production not only for the individual but also for the company as a whole. I'm sure, with how far Amazon has been able to develop technologies, I'm sure they have packaging rooms available in virtual reality, things like that, where they can see hypothetically if we're shipping out billions of packages a day, how will our machines be able to handle this using the computer generated programs? The same thing for AR, being able to pull out the numbers from a data set and provide an individual worker with a sheet of all the data sets, things like that. Threats, I mean, it is still expensive, as it is still, a hot new thing on the market. For Amazon, that's not necessarily a problem, but I could see for a lot of small businesses, it's just another loop that's making sure that they can't compete with places like Amazon and a Walmart. A lot of individual sellers not being able to have the hardware, not being able to set it up, and falling further behind. When should you possibly use AR and VR? I mean, it has so many uses, even stooping into like hobby territory. I know people, there's a library here that has a VR gaming set in the basement where you can just put on the headset and play games. So I think you can use it for almost anything you'd want to do. You can browse the internet in VR, you can do everything with it. So I think it would be hard pressed to find a moment where VR couldn't be applicable if you're dealing with any other sort of technology at the moment. So how should I use this to apply SDGs in my favorite country? I think AR would be a great way to really show the income and the numbers that you would need to show. Being able to look at an area and maybe, computer digitalizing a population or something like that, and being able to pull that population out and add it to a real life database, or for, people researching the area, I think that could really help in that sphere. So, two truths and a lie. AR and VR could hit $150 billion worth of profit in the year 2020 alone. A recent poll shows that 64% of baby boomers approve of VR technologies. Or AR and VR sales have slowly been on a decrease in the first quarter of 2021. So I'd like to thank you guys for listening, and I hope you have a nice day.